We normally, as women, are not people who like segregation. So when we bring women together, it's not because we don't want the men to be in the same space as we do. Because we do believe that the world we live in is a world that needs all of us to pool our resources together. It's a world that needs us to pool our brains together. It's a world that needs us to work together, men and women. However, we do not shy away from the history which most women know, that it is a history of separation, and it is a history that tends to think women can't be in a space like this of ICT and on. But we are here, gentlemen. We also have a lot to give as people, as just human beings who are also wanting to participate in the broader economies, firstly of our own individual countries, but also we are women who want to participate in the broader economies of the world. I think that the struggle for women emancipation and the struggle for women empowerment will continue. We've just come out of South Africa's Women's Month, in the month of August. And for us, the struggle continues. And when we talk about the struggle continuing, we're not only looking at the politics, we're also looking at all spheres of our lives. So we are also looking at the ICT, looking at the economy overall, and saying we also need to participate and participate fully. On the 31st of August 2018, the following women in the ICT received recognition by a joint initiative by DTPS and MTN for their achievements, which suggests that the private sector are also slowly recognizing the importance of women and realizing that if women are not participating, there is a resource that is lost. We have Pamela Mkhize, Head of Sub-Saharan Africa Digital Satellite at the multinational energy utility, NL Green Power, a subsidiary of the NL Group. She is responsible for the organization's digital solution department within Africa and has led the ICT processes for renewable energy plant development projects in India and Australia. We also have Mariana Kruger, who heads up the product and solutions division within MTN Business South Africa. And Mariana's team provides services and solutions to an array of enterprise customers in South Africa, ranging from the top 1,000 blue chip companies to SMEs. We have Iman Malaka, CEO, co-founder and majority shareholder of TIC IT Telecoms. Prior to this, she held various roles in the telecommunications industry. Iman is passionate about developing people around her. We have Lindiwe, the founder and CEO of Africa Team Bricks. This is an NGO that teaches kids how to code. Lindiwe has received numerous accolades in social entrepreneurship and continues to study at some of the world's leading academic institutions, such as the Columbia University in New York. We also have Tebazo Moape, a computer science lecturer at Tshwane University of Technology. In addition, she recently founded a non-profit organization, Ribao ICT Foundation and Youth Development. Its mission is to be a leading NPO that promotes, drives, and instills technological skills through the use of ICT in the marginalized communities. So these are just a few of the women that I decided to pick and refer to, because I'm trying to illustrate that while we know that women are still lagging way behind, but there are women who are breaking ground, and these are the women who we have to celebrate. Celebrate them also because they're not doing it only for themselves. They're also looking at empowering other women and in communities. We also have a program which I think the Department of Telecommunications has done a good job around. Is bringing a child to work, Day, particularly focused on technology. And this is a program that was started way back by CELC, long even before I got into government. I got into this position where I'm in. I actually remember that when I was in Brazil, I was very excited about this program, to an extent that when I'm in the embassy, then I had to find women to bring to the embassy so that they can be able to understand what it is to be an ambassador, what does it mean. And I would encourage those of you, particularly South African companies who are here, that when that day comes through, select young girls who can come and just spend the day with you. It makes a big difference to them.
One of the interventions again that was so important was to say, because also we're celebrating the centenary of Mama Albertina Sisulu, one of our struggle icons was to say, during my budget vote speech, we had to commit that we're going to train about 100 women in each province in ICT-related skills. Be it business, whatever that they're doing, but they have to participate in terms of getting the skill, because like I said, it's not just about exposure, it also talk to skills, and on top of that, training 100 girls per province, that gives you 900 girls a year that will be training 900 women that we are training as the department.
Stand on existing protocols. I think, TSG, when you started, you also outlined the gender divide within the ICT sector, challenges that we are faced with the statistics that we have just outlined. So not only do we talk about the digital divide in the ICT sector, but there's also the issue of leaving our women behind. And it becomes critical for us to collaborate along these issues. The important aspect which the Deputy Minister spoke to, and the Minister of Small Business, is the whole issue around education and skills. And it is important for us in the ICT sector to focus on educating, especially the girl child, and making sure that we even look at the cultural barriers that are there, that socialize our girl children. Instead of giving them doors, we need to start to give them things that will stimulate their minds. But it also says, and I'll give the South African situation, that we made English a compulsory subject. Why can't we make coding a compulsory subject? Because once we start to do that and make our kids to learn coding as early as possible, surely we'll make them to also be able to participate going forward in the fourth industrial revolution. So we started earlier, we collaborate with the Department of Education, and we make sure that that happens. Because unless we do we adopt deliberate, measurable, and sustainable activities as government, because the regulatory framework is there. And whether it is implemented is another challenge. I mean, look at what the Minister of Small Business was saying when she was addressing us. Quoting all the women executives in various private sector entities. Surely that's the gender parity that we're talking about. But does gender parity always translate into women empowerment? It's another thing. Because we can put those women there, but not be able to put an enabling environment that will allow them to pull other women up as they rise. So it's a challenge that we also need to do and make sure that that happens.
At the local government level, we are very keen to see how women could benefit through the ICT, but also how do we ensure that though there might be professional networks that facilitate careers in various forms, we all know how when we talk about the disruptions that come with the fourth industrial revolution and how women are still lagging behind in terms of a lot of advancements that are happening. For instance, if I was to take my rural women that are in farming or in agriculture, here they are, and there is technology that is already making it cheaper to do business by using technology. But for those rural women who still do not have access to technology, even doing business becomes more expensive because they still to use the old ways of plowing or tilting their land and everything else. And one of the issues that we've got to face in this discussion is that we know how in many times we talk that there's a lot of droughts at the moment, there's scarcity of water. Fuel is becoming more and more expensive, labor is becoming more and more expensive, but we are all saying you could advance a lot of things through using technology to make it easy. But we talk about infrastructure, as the minister has said. There's not even infrastructure in those rural areas, let alone as well when you talk about the girl child, that we know that the issue that was raised by the Ugandan president, Yoweri Museveni, where he notes that when we talk about the gender digital divide, we are recognizing a fundamental obstacle to development in our countries, and without access to information and knowledge and technology, women who are the majority of our population are at the risk of permanent economic backwardness. And I think that, for me, that statement sums it all to say, how do we then, at forums like this, ensure that women have access to the ICT infrastructure, to the skilling that is available. And added is the fact that access to knowledge and information is a tool to enable economic progress that I'm talking about. So if we are not making access for women, for rural women in particular, but also the girl child that my deputy minister was talking about, I think we are still to see women suffering the double oppression and also being condemned to that perpetual poverty that we see in and around us.
Firstly, let me just say that it's a singular honor and pleasure for me to join this distinguished panel. Just to say that I've been in the sector longer than I'm going to admit. But just let's say from the time when there was no ladies' bathroom in the engineering department. So, and I won't dwell on that. Just to say that Qualcomm does have diversity as its core for its work as a global company. So it's very clear that without diversity, including empowerment of women, Qualcomm cannot succeed. But if I may, Mr. Chairman, maybe just move on a little bit, given the discussion we're having, I just wanted to make a comment that there is an area of ICT practice that may not be very obvious, and oftentimes when we discuss empowerment of women in it, it may be one that we do not pay attention to. And I want to say that we all acknowledge that policy making, ICT policies across the world are foundational to whatever else we will do with ICT. And based on my experience of the X years, I want to observe that until and unless we have women, their perspectives and their intellect involved in creating that very environment that we all want to participate in, we'll be missing out 50% of the potential. And so in 2 minutes, if I could just say that in that aspect of ICT policy making, it's the one aspect that we can perhaps, make an impact, because there are women involved in ICT policy practice. There are women in our countries that are working in ministries of ICT, working in regulatory authorities, working in companies and facing policy making. If we could just find them and just sit with them for a day and hear from them what more we need to do for them so that they can make the impact we need, what more can we do for them so that they can up their game. It could just be that the policies that we are making to bridge this digital divide will bring in fresh perspectives.